over the next few weeks, I want to take some time to bust a few urban myths that proliferate through big gift fundraising. My first urban myth is that applying for more grants will give you a higher success rate. So over the years, this has got all kinds of nicknames: the spray and pray method, or just simple mail merge mass mailing approach. And the theory is the more you apply for, the higher you have a chance of catching all those grant makers who will support your charity. And the people who undertake it think it is more cost effective in terms of their time to apply to everyone and therefore catch all of those who are eligible, rather than sift through and choose those who are eligible and do fewer applications. And I want to really turn that on its head. That is a complete myth. So the reason that is a complete myth is that it's for several reasons. It might feel on the surface of it that it takes less time to do a massive mail merge of all the grant makers available or from a download that you bought from the Charity Commission or whatever than it is to do the research. But it actually isn't. You've still got to individually send them to everybody, and that is a huge amount of time that is spent doing that. You've got to download the addresses, you've got to create that database, you've got to do it. But also, you are applying for grants that are literally ineligible to you. So let's say you are a charity based in Northumberland and you write to every charity, every organisation, every grant maker in England and Wales. That will include some that only give to, say, I don't know, causes in Kent. Grant makers are legally bound to only give money where they say they're going to give money. Under their charitable aims, they are also charities, so they cannot give you money in Northumberland if they say they only give money in Kent. And so it is literally a waste of your time, because they will literally never give to you. So all of that time and effort and energy and money that is spent on writing that application is a complete 100% write-off waste of time, effort and energy. But also, all of those different grant makers who are then receiving the exact same letter and email and application from you do talk to each other. They will eventually notice that your organisation is taking this approach. You're wasting their time, their effort and their energy, and they will speak to each other, and they will not think kindly of you. And they will speak to the grant makers for whom you are eligible. And because they will speak to each other, everyone will not think kindly of you, and your organisation will have a lower than average success rate as a result. As I've already mentioned, you are also wasting their time, effort and energy, because somebody has got to open your application, recognise it's ineligible and deal with it. Even if that is just reading an email, opening a letter, reading through it, that is still time and that costs money. One of the things grant makers try to do is to minimise their administrative costs so that the maximum amount of money can go on the actual grants. Some of them are run by volunteers, by trustees who administer it. Others do pay for administrators. But the less wasted administration they undertake, the more money goes into the pot for grants. So you are also minimising the opportunity for grants for those who are eligible. And you might be eligible in the future. You might even be eligible now. By taking that approach, you are not tailoring your application. If you were tailoring your application, you would know that this is a grant maker that focuses on Kent and that you are based in Northumberland, or they only focus on cancer research and you undertake support for families where there's a child with autism, for example. If you were tailoring, you would know, and you would know not to bother. You literally cannot tailor an application appropriately if you are an organisation that is helping families locally with children with autism and they are a charity that only supports research into cancer. You can't make that work. And by not tailoring, it comes across and everybody knows that you haven't put in the effort to tailor your application. And so you also will end up with a lower than average success rate, even if you end up finding in this spray and pray method all of the organisations that will support families with someone with autism. It will not be a tailored approach. It will not be in their language. They will have to think hard about how you fit their criteria. And given that we've got this inordinately high demand, in the trust fundraising sector at the moment, and in my 20 odd years career, demand has never been higher than it is now. It will be easy for them to say no to you. And what you need to do is make it easy for them to say yes to you. That all being said, you should be maximising the volume of applications you send out for those who you are eligible for. So there is definitely the opposite of the urban myth of spray and pray works is only targeted individual applications works. And there is a middle ground. The big grant makers need targeted, focused applications. They have complex application processes, they have deadlines, they have forms, and you need to adhere to their processes to be in a chance of winning a healthy 5-figure grant or above. There are, however, lots of small grant makers who don't offer criteria, who don't offer deadlines, for whom you could do a lot worse and check their criteria, check what they say on the Charity Commission, check that you broadly fit their criteria, and send them a 2-pager.